welcome back to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm back today with a pick a card reading for you. A big welcome back to my returning subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your friendship. Thank you for your support of me and your support of each other, especially in the comment section. A big congratulations to this month's winner of the free tarot reading, and I will be drawing another name. So please be sure to drop your comment below and to hit your notification bell so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading, and that I can notify you because I've been having a difficult time having my winners reach back out to me. So be sure to hit your notification bell. And if you have found yourself here for the very first time, we want to welcome you to this space. Please pull up a chair, grab yourself a cup of tea and some snacks, and we'll have a little chat because we're all friends when we gather here together. Today's pick a card reading topic, we're looking at your path and are you on the right track? So you could be feeling like there's a big shift in your life and you wonder if it's the right decision to make. So Spirit's here to let you know if you're on the right track, to help you make some discernible choices in the present moment. We have 3 piles to choose from today. Pile number 1 here with the red jasper and the beginning, the Fool energy. We have pile number 2 with the green aventurine, and we have the Fallen, which is the Devil. We also have here the pile number 3 with the clear quartz and the aged one, which is the Moon. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be a message waiting from Spirit. And I'm going to jump right into pile number 1. Again, today's topic is all about your path ahead and whether or not you are on the right path. So I'm going to jump right into pile number 1. Hello, pile number 1. You were drawn to the red jasper here, or to the beginning card, the Fool energy, and this is your reading. Are you on the right path? The beginning, the Fool here, is talking about a leap of faith. So you may have a new beginning in front of you, whether it be a relationship or a job, whatever the case may be. This is all about taking a leap of action. Your guides want you to know that they are your constant companions, no matter what path you choose to detour down, that they will be there right beside you. There's a fear associated with this. As soon as I saw the egg, it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? And there's a sense of fear associated with that chicken leap. But the Fool energy is all about the strength we need to start the journey. And they want to remind you that you came down into this earth, into this experience as a spiritual being, having the earthly experience, having the human experience, as a wee babe, and you were not incomplete then either. You were completely prepared for this very difficult realm because you are whole as soon as you come here. And so that's what we're trying to claw our way back to, that realization of our wholeness. So this beginning is talking about a leap of faith, that you may be at the precipice of change. So let's take a look here and see what Spirit is saying. Is pile 1 on the right track, on the right path in life? Ten of Cups. 4 of Cups. And I do feel like there's certain aspects of your life that have eluded you up to this point. When I have this 10 of Cups show up in the very first position, that means we haven't reached that yet. We have steps that we need to take to get there. We haven't achieved what we want. So you haven't achieved perhaps the family, the relationship that you're looking for. Maybe that's eluded you up to this point. So you're wondering, why am I being led down this path where I feel like I'm being forgotten or overlooked with some of the things that I want in life and want to achieve in my life? Queen of Pentacles and the 7 of Cups. I feel like you spent a lot of time in a sense of independence. You've proven yourself to be very capable of that, both in emotionally and physically speaking. But it's like you want that fulfillment. It's like you don't want to have to be independent all of the time. So you're wondering if this path, in this current energy right now, where you're feeling overlooked by Spirit, you're feeling kind of helpless to create that change. And you wonder if you're going to just be fantasizing about a partnership or fulfillment forever. We have the Justice. Back of the deck is the 8 of Wands, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. The very good news for you, pile 1, here is that, first of all, your wait will not be forever. Spirit says that things are going to take off. There's a sudden turn of events coming in the future for you that's going to help create a doorway that can be the very sort of doorway we need to walk into in order to get this started. They want us to understand that we're not going to, it's kind of like climbing a ladder. We're not going to jump from our position now to this 10 of Cups, that we have to take the roots that are being opened up to us, and it's going to require a leap of faith when that happens. That just because you're feeling confusion in your current energy in the present realm doesn't mean that that's going to precipitate into the future, because Spirit sees change coming. In fact, they say that there's a reason why you're being divinely kind of guided towards this outcome. This is what you're really focused on. This is what you want to manifest in your life. And they say that all you need to do now in order to achieve that is surrender to the present realm. Because this present moment is what's holding all of the potential for the future. It's what's holding all of the opportunity for you. And we can sometimes look at disappointments in our life and pain in our life as evidence of taking wrong detours or taking a wrong path. And Spirit says, in this case, everything that you've experienced, especially in the love department, when you've been disappointed in love, it was just setting a stage. It was fortifying the necessity for this independence, the strength, because this is you shine a light. It's like you've communicated to the universe and to the world about your capabilities, about how it's like you're talented in every realm. Spirit says that, and you may not feel that about yourself because you're feeling kind of helpless and feeling not very powerful right now, but that doesn't negate the truth of how Spirit sees you. You can feel like this all day long till next Tuesday if you want to. It doesn't steal the truth of how Spirit sees you, which is capable and smart and abundant in every single realm. You're not seeing it right now. There's this confusion surrounding because of your experiences and what you've been through. You're like, I couldn't possibly be on the right path because I would never choose this. It's like the Wheel of Fortune can talk about soul contracts and writing difficulties into our contracts. And we would say to ourselves, I would never choose this for myself. I would never willingly go in and hurt myself in that way. And Spirit's here to combat that a little bit and say that we didn't necessarily handpick the pain that we experienced, but we took certain detours in our life and in our path here as spiritual beings. We took certain detours where we were aware that there was the possibility of pain in order to achieve the growth that we needed, in order to fortify us with the strength we needed to carry forward into new realms. We had to experience this, but it's not an evidence that you are on the wrong path. In fact, it's evidence that you power through anything. You power through so much pain, so much disappointment, and that has fortified you. Here with the Eight of Cups, Spirit says everything that you've experienced, especially in the love realm, when it came to dissatisfaction, was actually in your favor. And I know that sounds so strange, but they're saying it was good luck. You can see she looks like the ladybug. It was a part of your necessary transformation to make you hungry for more. To make you hungry for more. Because whatever you experienced back here was not satisfying enough, and it made you want to move forward. And that was very necessary, because if it was even just a little bit satisfying, you may have stayed in a comfort zone, and you're made for more. So you're on the right track to get to this, and this is what you want. And it doesn't feel like that in this moment, because they say a watched pot never boils. The Spirit says we're so focused on what we don't have right now that we're missing life a little bit. But the good news is that you have a new beginning coming. The Knight of Swords. I do feel like for someone watching too that they're going through perhaps a bit of a depression or anxiety issue as well in your life at this time. And I feel like you're really hard on yourself because of that. And because like this steals our focus, this steals our ability to stay present in this current moment. It steals our joy from us as well. So it's really easy to fall into this mindset of like, of course I'm on the wrong path. I'm stuck in this rut and I feel like this. And that feels terrible. It's a terrible energy. But we come to know the truth by the way that it feels. And sometimes this energy is just what we need to light a fire underneath us. There's the Ace of Wands. And the nines tell us that you're struggling to the point where you feel like you can't struggle anymore. It's like you're reaching the end of your tether, but the nines are just asking for just one tiny little implementation of strength from you at this time, because they want to let you know you are on the right path, and everything that you experienced in the past has set the stage, or past has set the stage for this momentous change that's coming in for you, this leap of faith that's being called. And the Justice here is talking about taking advantage of this gateway, not to be fearful. I have a card in my collection that says, do not be deterred by the thorn amidst the roses. And here is the thorn amidst the roses here. Everything that you've experienced in the past has made you feel, you can see she's like checking off, oh, I was hurt that time, and I was hurt this time, and I was hurt that time. Spirit's like, instead, these are all evidences of all the strength you've shown, and how you have showed so much fortitude in pushing through this period, and you'll push through this too. You'll push through this too. There's a leadership energy in you, where everything that you have experienced will be able to come in handy to help another person who's struggling in the same realm. So there's a leadership quality to you as well. And you're so close to change. The Spirit is so adamant. You're so close to change. Don't turn back now. Don't turn back now in a state of fear. Because what's sitting in behind the clouds of that egg is the beautiful sunshine, is clarity. Clearing up of confusion. And if this Seven of Cups is talking about confusion and feeling insecure, this Seven of Cups is talking about healing energy opening up for us, possibilities opening up for us in the future here. Four of Pentacles on the back of the deck with the Knight of Cups. You're feeling very, very vulnerable. And in our vulnerability, it's really easy for us to stay put, to grab everything that we have that we think is of value, and to hold on to it strictly, and to look behind ourselves and to use that as an example of what the future holds. But Spirit says that in order to expand into this new future, you have to be vulnerable. You have to practice that art. And so there's something very beautiful about your heart too. You're a very emotional person, and you feel like that's a deficit or a weakness in you. And maybe in the past that has felt like a deficit, but that's actually your superpower. That's your strength. That is your strength. The ego can sometimes use it against us, which it's doing to you right this moment, but that's actually your strength. So ask your guides to use it to alchemize strength for you in this moment, because you're so close to a breakthrough, but it's going to require this leap. And that's why you were perhaps drawn to the Fool's energy, because you're going to be fearful to take that leap of faith, because you're going to wonder, is this just another loop? Am I going to experience all of the pain that I've experienced in the past? And Spirit's here to say no. No, they're saying a breakthrough is coming. So you are on the right path. A breakthrough is coming. And you can feel that pressure building, which is adding to your discomfort. But that's because you're about to burst open. You're about to be a slingshot that gets propelled forward. Are they on the right path for pile number 1, please? We have silent skill. I challenge you to unpack your mind. In meditation's grace, the soul can unwind. It's time to breathe in and breathe out and let go of all doubt. And doubt that you are not on the right track, doubt that your pain or any sort of suffering that you had to deal with in the past is an example of that stuckness. It definitely isn't. In fact, it's the exact opposite. It's an example, and it should shine a light over you of like, oh my gosh, look what I've done. Look what I've powered through. I have survived 100% of my worst days. I'm doing an amazing job, and I will continue to do an amazing job until this breakthrough comes in, and the breakthrough is right around the corner. Are they on the right path, please? We have between worlds. So in this very moment, you feel like this sense of stuckness and perhaps depression, anxiety. Always remember, I'm dealing with collective energy, so if it doesn't resonate with you, you can try a different reading or a different spread. But this in-between phase, that's what Spirit's asking you to do with the silent skill, to unpack your mind, to embrace the in-between, because you can see that this flamingo is about to break through into the light. And it's going to require an optimistic, a leap of faith. It's going to require an optimistic jump into this new beginning. You're going to have to come back, because just because the opportunity presents itself doesn't mean that we're emotionally ready. When we've kept ourselves sort of used to this energy of worry and insecurity and fear, we're going to have to challenge ourselves to take that leap of faith. but you're bursting at the seam. There's so much potential, and you have a gateway right around the corner, and Spirit's asking us to be prepared for that. But we can't be prepared for it unless we're looking at it from a higher perspective, so that we can eradicate our insecurity and our fear when the time is called. Are they on the right track, please? We have here, release your blocks. The only thing that's holding you back in this moment is your perception of something holding you back in this moment. We have unleash your kindest self, and that's towards yourself. You're hard on yourself, Spirit says. And sometimes our thoughts, the thoughts that we feel at ourselves, are the ugliest thoughts. We would never ever say them to anyone else in the world, but we'll say them easily to ourselves, and that's fueling this feeling of stuckness that you feel, the frustration that you feel. It's fueling that. And so Spirit really wants you to be kinder to yourself, because you deserve that. And even if you don't feel that, some people I can feel like combating. It's like, I don't deserve that. And Spirit's like, it doesn't matter if this is how you feel in this moment. It is a truth that you've adopted about yourself, but they see the essence of who you are. They see the essence of you, and they see your truth, your true truth. And they say you are on the right path, and you're about to break through into a brand new environment that gets you closer and closer to this 10 of Cups. So it's really important for us to surrender to this moment, to embrace the in-between, and then be prepared for that leap of faith when it presents itself. Let's ask Spirit about that really quickly. When is this breakthrough coming for pile number 1, please? You have the Hanged Man. It's very contingent on the surrender that you make in the present moment. Surrender to this present moment. 3 of Swords. And that's the thing, is that we may be sort of avoiding some of the pain too. It's like we'll push that pain down. We'll try to push it away. We'll try to avoid it. But it's still there. It's still there. It's like Spirit just showed me trying to push. Actually, they showed me empty jugs of milk, trying to push it below the surface of something. It's just going to buoy right back to the surface. So we have to surrender to that experience and that pain first. Let it flow over us like a wave. Don't push it down. And Spirit says that this big shift and change is going to happen suddenly for some here. Between 5 and 8 months from now is when this big leap of faith is going to be asked of you. So this in-between phase is really, really important part of your journey. You are on track. Even if you're feeling a disheveled energy, you're still right on track. They're just asking you to embrace this in-between, to prepare for that next phase. Because if we're trying to manifest something different, we have to align ourselves with the frequency of that. And right now we are in this frequency. And we do not want to align ourselves with more of that. We need to feel more capable and secure in everything that we've experienced. And because that assurance, that capability is going to make us feel more assured in this leap of faith that's going to be asked of us around 5 to 8 months from now, Spirit says. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile 1. Are they on the right track? Guidance from their angels and higher self. We have the Wheel of Fortune in the reversal. We have the Moon. And we have the Emperor reversed. So this Wheel of Fortune is reversed. You have the Wheel of Fortune upright. This is showcasing how you feel stuck, how you feel like you're not on the right track. But that's just an ego issue. You know, the Emperor is reversed here. So it's like a sense of loss of control. I don't feel strong. I don't feel confident. And that's what's making me feel like I obviously must not be on the right track, because otherwise I'd feel great. Right? I'd feel amazing. I'd feel perfect. But Spirit says that this is actually the discomfort that you're feeling is actually the fact that a comfort zone is being eradicated for you, and that you're being asked to enter into the next phase. So you're right and on track, but you're feeling this upheaval because change is apparent and change is imminent. And when change is imminent, whether it's good or bad, that makes us feel really insecure. It's like not knowing what's coming makes us feel really insecure. So they want you to sit with the comfort of knowing that you are on the right track. And the discomfort that you're feeling is evidence of that in this moment. Your ego is trying to make you feel that insecurity. But the Moon asks us for further reflection. Here's the Frog even showcasing itself right away. You're very intuitive, and you can trust that intuition to guide you through this next chapter as well. Plus your higher self is coming forward to say that you are doing a great job. Here's the Screwdriver. You're doing a great job, but you're really too hard on yourself. We have the U, Z, and F. We have Capricorn energy. We also have the button for mending, and we have the siren, the temptation with the siren. We have the Degas ruin, which is the dawn ruin, keeping our head high and following the sun. And we also have here the, I don't know if you've had a health scare recently as well. We have the, I think about the Red Cross with that charm. We also have a big silver dollar from the Calgary Stampede. It says Pete Knight on it. It's from 1982. And I was given this when I was a little girl because I was born in Calgary. And it's not worth anything, but my mom gave it to me, and it's something very, really valuable. So it's not worth anything to anyone else. No one else looks at it and says that's really valuable, but it's special to me. And it's really talking about how our perception of things is very different than Spirit's perspective. We have here the two little swans. And when I say that this is a leap of faith, Spirit says really take this leap of faith, because for someone watching, this could lead to the altar. This could lead to commitment. We have the rose of empowerment, and we have this red rose. Don't be deterred by the thorns amid the roses. They are meant to fortify you, meant to fortify your experience. We also have here Taurus, and we have she believed she could, and so she did. Very charmed, it's a very cramped charm bowl today, pile 1. But that is what I had for you today. I hope that it resonates with you. And if it did, I would love to hear your story below in the comment section so we can get back some words of encouragement to you. We would love for you to please hit your notification bell and your like button so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading as well. You can also check out my Etsy account with the link below for a personal reading if you feel called to. But I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I hope that you make another visit at the Tarot Cottage. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to the Green Adventurine, or to the Fallen card here, and this is your reading. Are you on the right path? Now, the Fallen card is the devil energy. So the devil talks about addictions, it talks about obsessions, it talks about ways in which that we feel like we've failed ourselves, or we feel stuck in place because of bad influences. This can really represent even temptation as well, that we feel like we've given into in any type of realm, whether it be something physical, whether it be a relationship. It just talks about feeling like I failed, and feeling like a failure sometimes too, like the fallen angel, Lucifer comes down, the fallen angel. So you may feel drawn to this card because of that reason, because you feel stuck in a rut, or because you feel like you've made a lot of poor choices in life, and that makes you feel like you've set the stage for something negative in your life. So we'll see what Spirit has to say about your path. It's a strong Capricorn energy, so you may be drawn to it because you are a Capricorn as well. And I also feel like in the past you feel like you've made a lot of poor decisions too. And so you feel like there's a karmic justice that's waiting for you perhaps because of that as well. So we'll see what Spirit has to say. Are you on the right path of pile number 2? We have the 9 of Swords. You're such a worrier. You're such a worrier, and you're losing sleep over this too. It's like you overthink things. If you make one wrong decision, if you make one wrong step, you are a worrier. And I feel like for someone watching, I just got this image of like this being instilled in you in childhood, and I feel like I could cry if I'm honest. I feel really emotional because I feel like this is not your fault that you have created this habitual worrying energy about your deficits and ways that you need to judge yourself harshly. I feel like I could cry for you, and that's just such a disservice done to you in that moment. Spirit says that sometimes the way that we feel about ourselves can really steal the truth from us, and we can't see ourselves the way that other people see us. Oopsie. You have the 8 of Cups. And I feel like you've had many, many instances where you have been unfulfilled emotionally, where you have been disappointed in connections and people. You have the Page of Swords. We have the 6 of Swords. Spirit, first of all, wants to give you this strength and this message of that the worst is behind you. The worst is behind you, and you survived it, which is, I feel like you're, I don't know, I feel like you survived a lot when you were little. I don't know why that just keeps coming out, this idea of you being little. You survived a lot then too, which sort of, I feel like what happened to you when you were young fueled some of even the toxic things that you were drawn to, because you were trying to self-soothe, you were trying to push some of that pain down, because you weren't given the necessary tools to handle emotion, emotional trauma. And bad things happen to kids all of the time. Bad things happening to children doesn't cause trauma. It's when bad things happen and they don't have emotional support to help them through those bad things, because everybody's going to go through negative things in their life. We can't stop, trains from coming sometimes, but it's about having the support systems in place. I feel like I could cry. I feel like somebody is crying right now. If we don't have the support systems in place, that becomes trauma for us. And I feel like you didn't have that support system. So you've really internalized that now, because you've taken other measures perhaps to fuel some of that emptiness. And this could take many, many forms. Different types of addictions and negative pathways can take many forms, whether it be even shopping or sex or drugs or alcohol or overeating. Anything like that can make us feel like failures because we didn't take a high road, or we couldn't power through our own difficulties. And you're really hard on yourself. But Spirit's here to say that those deficits that were created then were the fault of others and not of yours. And that it's okay for you to separate yourself from that experience. They understand it's really difficult. And they keep saying the worst is behind you. There's the devil. And we're dealing with the devil energy here. We have Justice, and we have the Knight of Cups. We also have here the Seven of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. I feel like sometimes for someone watching, it's like you've given up on yourself in a way. And that's something that Spirit does not like seeing it at all. They want to fuel you with this message of you being a student of this experience, and how the Page of Swords, the real challenge for the Page of Swords is to gather up the information and carry it forward without being influenced by it emotionally. And you were influenced emotionally by what you've been through, and you're a spiritual being having a human experience, and you need to give yourself some grace with what you've been through, and give yourself some grace with how you have chosen to deal with some of those things as well. Because in this present moment, in the Daughter of Swords here, in the Page of Swords, your guides are saying that everything that you've been through, and you've already overcome it, you've already left it behind you physically. Spirit says that was just meant to help you experience the full gamut of human emotion. That's what we can take from it. And they're really saying here with the 9 and the 10 of Swords, we can't let that destroy us. And you're not. And that's what Spirit wants to embolden you with, that what you experienced there was painful, but we cannot let it destroy us, because it was a lesson that we've left behind us now. And now the challenge is to let go of this situation, let go of this belief, which isn't the truth. It's just influenced by your perceptions and by other people's truths being thrown and propelled at you. But to separate the truth from the lesson. We have the Chariot. It's this environment in the past stole the truth of how unique you are and how special you are, and you didn't feel that way. You didn't feel special or valued there. And the Lover's energy is ruled by Gemini. We have Cancer energy, Gemini energy here as well, Capricorn, Libra as well. They say that the challenge for us at this point is to look at their past from a perspective of awareness instead of emotion, which is really, really difficult. Looking at things from every single angle. I feel like someone has had therapy or is currently in therapy. And again, sometimes the collective, for a time, fueled this idea at us that therapy means weakness, and it's something to be shameful of, and it's something that we need to back away from, or be, you know, but that's not the case. You have taken measures to try to understand things in the past as well, which again is evidence of the effort you've put in to gain awareness about your path as well. It's like you've taken the time to try to figure out why am I drawn towards negative environments, negative people, negative things that only serve to keep me in place back here. It's like, why am I? It's like you've taken time to really reflect upon that. And there's this belief that children are so, everyone always says it, they're like, oh, children are so resilient. Children are not resilient. They break very easily, in fact, and that's why we have so many adults in therapy. Children are not resilient. We have the Temperance. They want you to know that everything that you've been through is going to be used by you to help others who are going through similar things, specifically children. Actually, for someone watching, you're going to be helping children who are going through similar things that you went through. And you're going to help them to find peace and a balance amidst your experience. And I'm going to cry. I feel like I could cry for you. Spirit says you are, and it's so difficult in cases like this reading that I'm getting such heavy energy. It's so difficult to relay a message of like, you are on the right track in this present moment, despite everything that you've been through, that you have overcome so much. And there's a lot of pride in that from your guides. We have the Five of Swords. Back of the deck is the Hermit. But it's like this focus. It's like sometimes you'll look at your coping mechanisms, for instance, and you'll think, well, that's evidence of me not taking the right track. And Spirit says that the continuation of, if, for instance, if you are resonating with the message that you are partaking in something negative, that doesn't just kind of masks all of the feelings and just puts a band-aid on it and doesn't address it, or tries to numb some of the necessity for further exploration and doesn't address it. They say that that's not going to, ultimately that's just going to keep causing you internal conflict. So, and you're very well aware of this. Like if you have something in your life that you know you need to release, then you're aware of it. They're not bringing you any new information. And they also understand that it's going to take vulnerability. It's going to take a lot of focus. It's going to take a lot of planning and practical steps on a consistent basis to break that chain. But they also want you to know that on the other side of that is so much abundance and the truth of who you are. There's the Wheel of Fortune. And here with the kitty cat with the Wheel of Fortune, it's your strength that has kept that wheel going, and it's your strength that's continuing to keep it going. So you are on the right track. There is a perfect plan in place for you from this point forward, and it's moving itself in a perfect place. Your guides at this point are just asking you to take some steps to start making plans. Here with the Hermit, it's about retreating, to refocus about this energy, about your insecurities, about your attachments that are negative, and then to let that fire. You can see here that the cat is staring at itself. It's wearing this pentagram around its neck, which is like the Five of Pentacles, of feeling rejected, feeling left behind. And they're asking you to ask your guides to alchemize that energy, to fortify the fear that you feel into strength and something purposeful, because the Hermit is about retreat and refocus so that we can get ourselves going on that next chapter. So they are asking you to spend some time reflecting upon these negative attachments, but then they're asking you to consider leaving them behind from this point forward. And you already feel that pull. It's like you're maybe nervous about it, you're feeling anxious, and you're thinking to yourself, well, how do this is all I've known since I've had to deal with this past energy. I've always had to rely on this, rely on my negative thoughts, rely on this negative environment. These temptations have been what saved me sometimes. And there's a lot of fear in releasing them. It's like, I'm too vulnerable. I don't know how to live without this type of temptation. But Spirit's here to challenge you and say, you've already showed so much strength. This is going to be a piece of cake considering what you already accomplished, and you were so little. That's what I keep hearing. You were so little. Oh, I could cry for you. You've already showed so much strength that this will be a piece of cake. Whew, pile 2, you have me all emotional. And the same sort of stubbornness you showed in plowing through those challenges, you can use the same stubbornness moving forward as well. We have here why. Oh, and that is the question. Why did I go through this? I would never choose this for myself. And, you know, sometimes we can't control the actions of other people. Again, it's not your fault that these things happen to you. It's not your fault that you are plagued with these memories. It's not your fault. We can't control other people who are in charge of us, who leave us ill-equipped to handle emotional challenges, who leave us with trauma, for instance. It's not your fault. And we ask ourselves that all the time. Why? And sometimes the truth is painful. It's like, it's not your fault. But now in this moment, it is our responsibility, despite the things that happen, it's our responsibility to push through even farther. It's our responsibility to enter into new pathways for ourselves. Because the Wheel of Fortune is waiting for you, turn of events in your favor. And the Wheel of Fortune in this case is optimism and sunshine, breaking through the depression, breaking through the sadness, breaking through the permeating energies, clarity for perhaps the first time for someone in a really long time, true clarity, and an excitement. It's like this new resurgence of life and a desire to want to explore further in new pathways. And that's why it's so important, because you're worth it and you deserve it. We have here a deep knowing, and we have mending. Oh, I'm gonna cry. You guys have me so emotional today. The mending card is all about you, fixing you. And maybe we put band-aids on it for a while, and this was, you know what, it served its purpose. It was valuable for you in the moment. It served its purpose. But Spirit says, you know deep down what you need to do. You know what you need to release, and you know that the next chapter will be challenging, but it won't beat you. Because you've fortified yourself back here. It won't beat you. We have here inner power. By your own command, you brought yourself here. And at this moment in life, you have nothing to fear. You are on the right track. We have distant dream. The distance calls your heart to roam free. As you dare dream it, so must it be. Pass this card on. You know, that's interesting, because Spirit's saying you're going to utilize what you've experienced to help children, to help others down the line as well. And you may feel like, oh my gosh, it feels like an insurmountable task ahead of me to release my barriers, to release my blockages, and to start making a practical plan towards more, especially in your health, specifically in your health, and the practical steps you know you need to take to release certain negative attachments. It's not so distant. The results that are waiting for you are not as far away as you think that they are. But that's why it's so important to start here now with this refocus, and realize that we give, you know, the energy we give into a situation, we're going to get back twofold or tenfold even at times. And that's why they're really asking us to tackle these attachments that are negative at this time. We have here, step into your power. First quarter moon in Aries. Step into your power and release these blockages. Release these blockages. We have assessed the situation, and that is the Hermit, retreating to really unravel and unpack. Some of this is going to be shadow work, and some of it's going to be painful. But sometimes we use these things to push down the necessary shadow work that we have to perform. Sometimes we'll use, again, situations, attachments, addictions to suppress I can't even say it with my braces. The necessary steps we have to take in order to achieve the actual healing, which is allowing the emotion out, allowing it to pass over us like a wave, so that we can experience it and let it pass through us, not to avoid it, but to let us pass through us, so we can communicate to our body, to the universe, that yes, we've survived that too. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile number 2. Charm bowl, please, advice from their guides and angels. Are they on the right track? Four of Pentacles, the Devil, is a big theme here for you, pile 2. 2 of Pentacles. We have the 4 of Pentacles reversed. I feel like your home life was really imbalanced. I feel like it was perhaps your home life that did create a lot of this. And this is not for everyone, but if it resonates with you, you'll know that it does. It's that influence that's made you feel like having an imbalance or an inability to commit to certain things, an inability to stay focused, and it's all led to these negative attachments that fuel your insecurity and steal your power. It's like all of our power has been taken from us or given to all of these other realms. Spirit says it's time to call it back. now it's like you're on the precipice of change, and everything that you've experienced, which is over and behind you, you've already overcome the worst, has set you up for this moment. And your guides are right there with you, helping you through this period. We have from, and we have live. We have the V. I think about the letter V, of course, but I think about the Hierophant and about family units. I also think of institutions. We have here the honeybee, which is sweet results that await you because of the self-sacrifice that you have made and will make in the future. We have the world in motion, and we do have a triangle here. I think about mountains. I think about third party. We have Aries. We also have here a penny from 2008, which is about opportunity and communication. All right, pile number 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates, and I'm praying for you. And if it does resonate with you, I would love to hear your story below in the comments section, so we can help to bring you some comfort, so we can help to bring you guys some support as well. If you do drop me a comment, be sure to hit your notification bell so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check me out on Etsy. My link is below if you feel called for a personal reading. But I do hope that you come back here for another visit at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope that you have a beautiful day. Hello, pile number 3. You were drawn to the clear quartz, or to the aged one here, which is the moon energy, and this is your reading. Are you on the right path? So the aged one here, the moon, Scorpio energy, you can see it's the big cheese. We have the cow that's going to jump over the moon. And there's a lot of insecurity with the aged one, or with the moon. There's a lot of uncertainty of the unknown. And it's like a time of reflection perhaps for you in your life right now, where you have some sort of opportunity, or you're thinking about making a change and you're not sure if you should, or if it's a part or an alignment with your contract. So we'll see what Spirit has to say about that. Pile number, oops, I use this one. Pile number 3, are they on the right path? You have the Lovers. So you are sort of being pulled in different directions, potentially, pile 3, because the Lovers is all about decisions. It's about attractions that you may be feeling pulled towards as well. But it's also about the choices that we've made to lead us to this point. So you're really questioning perhaps some of the choices that you've made in life. Wondering if you've made poor decisions in life. And I feel like for someone watching, this isn't for everyone. You're questioning your relationship perhaps. Or a relationship. Yeah, that's what it feels like. You're questioning what you've built for yourself with the partner. It feels like there's somebody else involved here too. You're questioning that because you're frustrated in that environment. And so you're thinking that this frustration must be evidence of taking a misstep. Taking a misstep, making poor choices, because you could be experiencing a lot of arguments and conflict perhaps in your relationships. And you're wondering, you know, if I just picked a different path, would I be experiencing something better here? You could be asking about your marriage here with the Hierophant. And actually my light just went out. So you may be really concerned about whether or not whether you should have entered into this marriage. But I feel like you've entered into it a while ago and you've built up quite a bit here. So I feel like the conflicts aren't new, which perhaps, again, permeates and really brings it all full circle. Like, did I take the wrong path here? Was this the pathway for me? Because there's a lot of arguing, or it's like this happens repeatedly where we're questioning ourselves. And I just got this funny video that was placed in my mind by Spirit about this video I saw of this man who said that every time he and his wife argues, she kind of takes on the role of Frodo from Lord of the Rings, where she's like, I wish this ring had never found me. And that's what it feels like. Like, we have arguments and we always question ourselves. It's like, did I make a misstep here? Is this even the path and the connection for me? I'm going to pause the video for one moment just to light my candle back up, because I don't know why that's really bothering me. Okay, that's better. I feel better about it now. Let's clarify this message, please. Are they on the right path? Get the Five of Wands. We have the Empress. We have the Two of Wands. We have the Four of Swords reversed. We also have the Seven of Cups in the reversal. And we have the Knight of Cups. Back of the deck is the Queen of Cups. And we also have the Knight of Wands. Your focus could be elsewhere too. You could have sort of an option that has been brought forward to you, or you're thinking about someone from the past, for instance. There's just this desire for excitement or expansion, but we're not taking any practical steps right now to create it. It's like you're holding the key. The Empress here is holding the key and she's feeling really frustrated. So you're wondering, did I make a misstep? Did I take a wrong path in building up this foundation with this person? It's like you're feeling restless and you want to return to the world. You're tired of the conflict. You're tired of the arguments, perhaps, and you want to return to the world. Spirit's here to first of all, speak to you about the decisions you made in the past. And every decision that you made led you to this point. You know, the decisions and the paths that you took sent you to this present moment, so it's perfect. They don't want you to feel like you've made any mistakes. I don't believe in mistakes. I believe, obviously, there are some big ones, right? You know, if we really hurt someone and we do it purposefully, that's obviously a huge mistake. But I don't believe in beating yourself up over these mistakes, because it created who you are today. It set the stage. And so they're saying you didn't make a misstep in building up this connection. You didn't make a mistake in choosing this pathway for yourself, because what you've experienced there, both good and bad, it's not all negative, it's not all positive, but there was a lot of lessons afforded to you there, and it was very purposeful. What you built was meant to be built there for you. So you can alleviate that fear and that worry. However, you're feeling restless in this moment. You're feeling restless and you may feel pulled in another direction. And that's where Spirit wants you to spend some time really delving into your intuition. And that's why perhaps you were drawn to the Aged One, to the Moon, because it's all about reflections. We draw the Moon down so we can look at our fears and the truth right in the face. And we can resolve to change or heal anything that's imbalanced to create beginnings for ourselves. So they're really asking you to spend some time in reflection about the next step, this next chapter, because you're feeling restless and you feel like moving forward. And if you make that decision, Spirit says you are on the right track as far as the decisions you've made. And so you can trust in your good sense to make decisions moving forward with the full awareness that whatever path you choose, your guides are going to help you to pull out lessons. Sometimes they try to steer our focus in a new direction or in a different direction, because they want us to avoid unnecessary lessons and unnecessary pain that aren't needed on our path moving forward. So they give us nudges. You know, they'll never make the decision for us, but they give us nudges, and you're feeling called to perhaps sever this foundation to explore something further. And Spirit says that if that is what the conclusion you come to during this reflection phase, that they will support that. And we have happiness waiting for you on the other side. With the Four of Wands, we have reasons to celebrate and gateways opening up. They are acknowledging that it's going to take vulnerability, and it's going to take boldness. I feel like it will create a huge shakeup in your life. And even as I turn this, there's the Tower energy, this person driving away while this energy explodes. It does create permanent change, but that also is not evidence of you being on a wrong track. Change does not mean that stagnancy doesn't mean that you're on the wrong track. It just means that there's a fire being lit under you for something more, perhaps. And change is evidence that things are in motion. Page of Cups. Back of the deck is the Emperor. And the Eight of Swords. So you feel trapped right now in this environment. But Spirit's here to kind of gently coax you out of that trap and say that the Eight of Swords is a prison that we design for ourselves. It's a mental prison. It makes us feel restricted, but there's nothing physically holding you in place. So the fact that you feel stuck here is not evidence that you are stuck or that you're on the wrong track in that environment. They say that we come to know the truth by the way that it feels, and you're feeling called for more. That doesn't negate what you've experienced. It doesn't change that you gained something there. It just acknowledges that perhaps you are ready for a next chapter or a movement out of this situation. Again, it could be the workplace. I do feel like for someone watching, it is a relationship, could even involve children or a family unit, which is why you're really hesitant. And that's the other evidence as well, that you had children in this environment potentially. So that is the evidence that those children were meant to be here because they have specific goals and tasks that they have to perform in their own individual experience. And so that was very purposeful, and that was a very valuable pathway that you took. But just because we've invested a lot and a lot of time, a lot of effort, doesn't mean that we aren't allowed to explore other opportunities or other detours in life. And so you may feel that restlessness of like, well, am I on the right path? Because now I'm considering shaking it all up and creating this upheaval. And Spirit says that on the other side of that leap is a new emotional start. And for some, it's a new person too. Here's the Eight of Swords. The Judgment is a reflection tool as well, in combination with the moon energy. To judge and that's what you're doing right now, perhaps. You're judging your actions, you're judging all of the choices you made, the decisions you made that led you to this point. And the purpose of the Judgment is to resolve, to change or heal anything within those decisions where we didn't feel like we made decisions that were true to ourselves or true to our truth in that moment, and to resolve, to change or heal that moving forward. And that's the lesson for the future for you, pile number 3. But we do see transitions. We do see peace coming in for you in the future too. So if you're feeling pulled to enter into an unknown or to make a big shift in your life, that's not evidence that you're on the wrong track currently. It means that you may be up for a big upheaval, but that doesn't mean that you're not on the right track. It just means that you're meant for that upheaval. You're meant for more. But they are encouraging you to take a step back, to retreat, because this Two of Wands is about expansion. And we fantasize about the expansion and we make tentative plans, but we need practical steps. And there's a lot of practical issues that will need your attention moving forward into this next phase. Whoops. I'm on the right path in life. And your path is your path. We have the Y card coming out. This came out for pile number 2 or maybe pile 1. We ask ourselves, well, then why did I build all of this? It's like, if I was on the right track, wouldn't I be satisfied with this? But it's like climbing a mountain. How do we know how satisfying that mountain is going to be unless we start the climb and we start the ascent? And sometimes we get halfway up and everyone's like, yeah, this is the best mountain. But we see another mountain over there and we're like, well, let's explore that mountain. And so Spirit says we ask ourselves, why we went through certain things in the past, but that led you to this point. Everything that you experienced in the past led you to this moment. And now it's gone. The past is gone. And this moment is all that we have. We have here co-create with Spirit. This card actually came out as well. We have be flexible. Be flexible with your expectations moving forward. Be flexible with what you allow yourself to experience. Because I feel like you've been really rigid with what you've allowed yourself to experience in the past. And now that's what's leading to some of this dissatisfaction, because you focused on priorities here, you've built up those priorities, and now you're the priority moving forward. Now it's time for, like, there's so much potential in the future for you, but they're just encouraging you to take advantage of this moment in time and be flexible with your expectations and the plans that you've made for yourself. Understand that the contract that you wrote for your life during this experience, that it was meant for detours. It's like a spiritual vacation. We have an itinerary, but we're encouraged to explore. And so they're asking you to be flexible with your own potential. And they say that the flexibility within even in the realm of responsibility, because I often see the Knight of Pentacles with this card, all of the straight lanes being plowed perfectly. These ones are all circular, because it's asking us to be flexible with our responsibilities and the paths that we take. Because our experience matters too. And you may be a little bit too concerned about the feelings and the appearances of other people and their opinions of your actions. Woo! Reveal what needs to be seen, and then forgive yourself with this big explosion. On the floor, release the control. Because I feel like there's a rigid energy of trying to control experiences, but that's also almost attempt to control you and what your desires and your wants. It's like you've hidden your truth, you've hidden what you really want, and now it's time to reveal that to the world and to yourself. But that's why the reflection is so important here with the moon and the judgment, so that we can resolve to change or heal the imbalances that we feel, so that we can make changes in our own personal experience. And I feel like for someone, you've really focused on other people's desires for a really long time. But if you're being pulled in new directions, Spirit says you're right on track. It's okay to be pulled in those directions. We have here the Lion and transformation. The fact is that you were meant for this transformation. And part of this transformation is written into your contract. Everything that you experienced to this point was written down for you. Everything that's coming is written. You were kind of made for this exploration. And even Spirit's saying about the temptation that you're feeling to expand, that was something that they anticipated. And now the call here, we're here to experience the whole realm of emotion. And we're here to experience this necessity for taking leaps of faith. This Lion energy is the Strength card, which is encouraging you to fortify yourself and to take a bite out of these temptations. All of the potential here, it's like cracking open the egg of potential. Back of the deck is Praying Mantis. I think about hurting other people with the Praying Mantis. It's like the Praying Mantis, the female, will sometimes bite the head off of her partner when she's done mating with them. And so I feel like there's almost a feeling of not wanting to be seen like that. It's like not wanting to be seen as ruthless or cold. It's like you really, really care about other people's experiences and emotions, but I feel like you also prioritize them over your own experience and emotions. We have here the Art of Life. There is no sacred light in the aura of an invisible life. Be bold in your skin and let your love dance in sight. And then we have Draw Down the Moon on the back of the deck. And we started with the Aged One with the Moon for you, because that's your first call from Spirit, is to reflect upon your experience. To reflect upon your experience. Because they say that you're more in alignment with your path now than you've ever been. Because a lot of the decisions you made in the past were based in fear. And the decisions that you made in the past, especially regarding relationships, were made at a period of time when your truth was different than what it is right now, because you hadn't experienced everything that you've experienced up to that point. And so they're really challenging you now to step outside of that comfort zone and challenge yourself to live boldly and to take paths into the unknown that feel scary, but can hold so much abundance and so much new beginnings and even more fulfillment than you're experiencing right now. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile number 3. Charm bowl, please, for pile number 3. Advice from their guides and angels in the bowl. 5 of Cups, the World. It's like you're very afraid to take a leap of faith here. Because of the practical nature and the practical steps that you have to take. But I also feel like there's a sense of necessity about it. It's like something has to change for you, or something. It's like there's a restlessness. Something has to change. You're too conflicted, and you're ready to. That restlessness must be addressed in some type of way. But I feel like you're also really afraid of making poor choices and having buyer's remorse set in if you take a big leap of faith. And that's why you're standing on this side of the barrier. You're standing on this side of that gateway. But just like the Hermit, he has retreated to refocus. We have Always. And that's what they want to assure you with, give you the confidence that choosing to separate yourself or enter into an unknown, choosing to create a shakeup in a current, environment that you have invested a lot of time and effort into, it doesn't negate what you experienced there. You can take that with you. We have here the 3 music notes. I think a third party. As I said, I do feel like someone has someone else on their mind in this new beginning. We have a Thirst with the Cactus. We have I. We do have the little happy cloud, and it's the happy cloud. It's like sometimes the fear of the unknown can cloud our judgment, but there's just as much possibility of positive outcomes as there are negative ones. We have the High Priestess with a hole in it, encouraging us to share our truth. We have the Anchor, which is talking about stagnancy and talking about feeling marooned or feeling like I've gotten myself kind of hauled up or stuck here and I don't know how to haul anchor. We have the Music Note. We have Christmas being very significant. I feel like holidays are significant for you as well. That is what I have for you today, pile number 3. If it resonated with you, I would love to hear your story below in the comment section, and I would love for you to subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. If you do subscribe, be sure to drop your comments so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check me out on my Etsy link below for a personal reading if you feel called to. But I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I hope that you come back for another visit at the Tarot Cottage.